#20 Best Star Trek Moments of the Last 20 Years. In the last 2 decades, Star Trek has undergone a bold renaissance, spanning films, streaming series, and legacy revivals. From emotional reunions to paradigm-shifting character arcs, modern Trek has kept Gene Roddenberry's vision alive while evolving with the times. These 20 moments from 2005 to 2025 define what made the franchise not just endure, but thrive. 1. Spock meets Spock, Star Trek 2009. When Leonard Nimoy's Spock shares a scene with Zachary Quinto's younger version, it's more than fan service. It's a passing of the torch that bridges timelines and legacies in a moment of Vulcan logic and human emotion. 2. Picard reunites with Data, Star Trek. Picard Season 1 Finale. The long-awaited emotional closure between Jean-Luc Picard and Data provided a poetic, philosophical goodbye that the Next Generation films never delivered. 3. Captain Pike sees his future. Discovery Season 2. Anson Mount's portrayal of Pike skyrocketed in this haunting moment when he glimpses his tragic fate. It defined his heroic arc and laid the foundation for Strange New Worlds. 4. Michael Burnham jumps into the future. Discovery Season 2 Finale. The leap to the 32nd century shattered the franchise's dependence on past continuity, boldly pushing Trek into uncharted territory and offering storytelling freedom. 5. Kirk's father's sacrifice. Star Trek 2009. Chris Hemsworth's brief but powerful turn as George Kirk set the emotional stakes for the Kelvin timeline and redefined the legacy that James T. Kirk would grow into. 6. Janeway returns. Star Trek. Prodigy. Animated or not, when Kate Mulgrew's Admiral Janeway appears to guide a new generation of misfit heroes, it marked a triumphant return of a Voyager legend. 7. Strange New Worlds Subspace Rhapsody, SNW Season 2. A musical Star Trek episode should never have worked, yet it did. Unexpectedly heartfelt and thematically rich, it turned vulnerability into melody. 8. The Gorn horror episode A Strange New Worlds, All Those Who Wander. In a franchise known for diplomacy, this survival horror chapter reinvented the Gorn from cheesy lizard men to terrifying apex predators. 9. Sisko's legacy mentioned again Lower Decks and Picard. Though he hasn't returned physically, references to Captain Benjamin Sisko's impact show that Trek hasn't forgotten DS9's spiritual depth. 10. Riker takes the captain's chair again. Picard Season 3. Watching Jonathan Frakes' Riker return to command and call the shots in battle rekindled TNG nostalgia while asserting his undiminished tactical brilliance. 11. The Kelvin timeline's warp jump. Star Trek Into Darkness. Love or hate the film, the visual of the Enterprise jumping to warp inside a planetary atmosphere was pure cinema spectacle. 12. Worf's reintroduction. Picard Season 3. When Michael Dorn's Worf returns with wisdom, humor, and a blade, he shows just how far his character has grown beyond battle. 13. Burnham becomes captain. Discovery Season 3 Finale. After 3 seasons of trials, Michael Burnham's promotion was not just a reward, it was a celebration of a new kind of leadership. 14. Lower Decks' Crisis crossover. Strange New Worlds and Lower Decks. The animated to live-action crossover starring Boimler and Mariner was funny, fresh, and proved Trek could still innovate across genres and formats. 15. Uhura's origin story. Strange New Worlds. The classic comms officer becomes more than just a legacy character. Her struggles with loss and identity ground SNW with surprising heart. 16. Romulus destroyed. Star Trek 2009 and Picard. The destruction of Romulus wasn't just a narrative device. It defined entire arcs for Spock, Picard, and the fate of the Alpha Quadrant. 17. The return of the Enterprise D. Picard Season 3. No single starship got a more triumphant reappearance. When the crew steps aboard the restored Enterprise D, fans around the world felt a warp core-sized burst of joy. 18. Sarek's emotional confession. Discovery Season 1. For a stoic Vulcan, confessing emotional failings is seismic. Sarek's admission to Burnham about choosing Spock over her created emotional nuance never seen in the character before. 19. Q's farewell. Picard Season 2 Finale. John D. Lancey's omnipotent trickster says goodbye with unexpected tenderness, revealing layers to the Q-Picard relationship that had always lingered just beneath the surface. 20. Star Trek embraces LGBTQ+ representation. Whether through Stamets and Culber in Discovery, Adira and Gray's trans non-binary identities, or Seven of Nine's queer romance arc in Picard, Trek finally began living up to its ideal of infinite diversity.